Hey guys, let's talk about this Chinese company called XPeng. Peng. I'm gonna call it XPeng for this video. Sorry guys. Clearly, I'm not Chinese. I have to learn. I have to go visit China. Actually, we have a few customers in from China, and we have a few partners in China. So I'm definitely gonna go visit China one of these days, and I'm gonna learn the proper pronunciation. But XPeng is an AI company where they created a bot, and then they claim that the bot is real. And everyone's talking about it. So I want to talk about this. Is it real or fake? I've got my opinion on this. If anyone's watched my video long enough, you know how I feel about AI and the expenditure that goes into it. But let's talk specifically about this one, okay? What's Speng? Is it worth it? And is it real or fake? Okay. Who am I? So I'm the CEO of Orukka. Orukka is a smart payment ring where we allow users tap to pay. So if you're a user, if you've got your phone, if you go for runs, if you go for concerts, if you hate carrying your phones around, if you hate carrying your wallets around, if you hate carrying cash around, you can order our rings. So and easily you just tap to pay wherever you are. You don't need your wallet or phones to be around. You don't need anything. You can just go out like this. So I go out this way these days. Unless I need my phone for navigation. If I expect a phone call to come through, I do. But if I want to go for a run, if I want to go for a swim, if I want to go to the gym, if I want to go for music, if I go out at night these days actually, and I don't need to order Uber, I use my ring. All through payments, the whole lot. Again, just the risk associated with carrying your phone. There's a lot of valuables on your phone these days. Again, I try to put a number on my phone, how much my phone is worth to me. It was a lot. So much so that I think my phone is more valuable than my car to me. And that's the same. So if I can't carry my car around and just leave it unlocked wherever, or if can't carry my car around, I should not be carrying my phone around. So I just take my ring and I tap to pay. We're global. We work with about 450 banks, so do join us. Enough of the sales. I want to talk about this because, again, this hurts me. It annoys me almost to talk about it. But let's talk about this company called, Speng. They're a Chinese EV manufacturer. So that means they focus on EVs, electronic vehicles that actually take you from A to B. And China have been doing well in terms of the payments, the EV side of things. They've almost overtaken the US there. They have very good government support, which I think the US are starting to get government support as well. A bit of an irony there. But let's not talk about that for a minute. Considering how angry people were that the Chinese government was helping them. I think we in the EU as well were angry with that. And now the government is helping the US there, which is good in my opinion, right? If you can help an economy, if it can help an industry to go up and it also helps the citizens there, I think it's a good idea. And so the EV manufacturers, they came up with this bot, which again, they call it Iron Man. It was a lady, which is quite an irony. It had a feminine form. But it was online and it was on a stage it had a walk from A to B, okay? According to the CEO, I think he said it was the advanced AI and advanced robotics architecture so that it mimics the human form. So effectively they had, I think they said they had 3 in-house chips and also have about 2,035 transactions per second, TOPS. What that means then is it's really, really quick in terms of his movement, in terms of his mimicking emotions and directions as well. Again, looks at the surroundings a lot more than the average user there as well, or average bots. Which I think, again, is it cool? Yes. Apparently as well, I think the CEO went on stage. I'm seeing all what they said. Okay, you can read this as well. This is a matter of fact. It says, hey, it's the most, matter of fact. It happened. This is not a fact. It's a different conversation. But it happened in the sense that I said this is the most powerful humanoid ever. Okay, it's also like an all-state solid battery. That means it's in and out. It doesn't cut out, and the motion is a lot more fluid. Of course, you know all that. Okay, so my point then is that real or fake? I think that's the annoying thing. That's what annoys me. Okay, but before I go to the fact whether it's real or fake, I want to talk about the idea of AI, right, and bots, okay? And what annoys me, I'll tell you one more thing as well that annoys me, is when celebrities go ahead and talk about what they don't know, okay? So, for instance, banking, okay? We see banking. I work in finance all my life, effectively. And then what happens then, people go out and talk to politicians, and politicians talk about banking, and they don't have a clue what they're saying. And they sound silly. And you're like, whoa, if you're a politician, but you know nothing about it, so stick to politics. Same thing as well with a lot of influencers on YouTube. So YouTubers, people go ahead and they've got 1 million followers. They have 1 million followers, they go ahead and talk about real estate, crypto, and you're like, okay, but you know nothing about it though. Just maybe you made a few bucks here and there, but you don't turn around and give advice and criticism on it. And they give a lot of advice, okay? So I don't want to be that. And I criticize those guys, okay? Please don't listen to politicians or financial advisors. Go to bankers. Bankers, again, don't have as much followers as they should, but they know what they're talking about. So listen to what the people are saying and stop looking at follower counts, like counts. Listen to the facts and go with it. That being said, I know nothing about AI. Okay, so I'm going to be honest. I know nothing about AI. So again, the only thing I know about AI is what we use on our rings. So we use AI on our rings in terms of just one, the setups, number two, transactions, so that we protect our users. We can tell exactly, and these are all automated. People call it AI these days. To me, it's always been AI because we always work with automations in the banking industry. For years, we used to have automated trading so that you don't actually trade FXs and stocks. It's all done by robot. Algorithmic trading, people knew about it for a while. That's what they now, there's a variation of that is now called AI. And so the same thing as well. So we use AI a lot to support humans. And that's where I'm coming at. To support humans, I agree, that's AI. For something to be functional, I agree, that's AI. And I support that, okay? But here's the point where, it's common sense as well to look at it and go, wait a minute. If you're spending, and this is what he spent, kid, he said this, I have the number. He spent $13.8 billion on this project to have someone walk on stage or something, walk on stage from A to B. That's it. There could be more, but that's all it's done. That's all it's proven. 13.8 billion. That's 100 billion ones, Chinese ones. 100 billion. That's 13.8 is what they spent. And that's public. So that means they spent a lot more behind the shadows, again, preparing that project. When you put a number on the project, also don't include adverts. You don't include a few more things in-house that prepared you for that project. Yeah, including running an RFP, consultants like us that have to go in and advise you. So all that was not included. That's 13.8 billion for someone to walk across A to B. So to me, that's a waste of money. Again, if I look at priority as a CEO, I can tell you from a priority point of view, you create EVs. The EV market is lagging behind the US. They're fighting neck to neck with the US. And then what you had to do was focus on getting a humanoid with 13.8 billion. If you're worried about market share, if you're worried about marketing and getting a hype, that 13.8 billion would have gotten you more in terms of marketing. If you spent it directly on people, give a discount on all your vehicles, you're going to push past the number you're thinking about. But in truth, you didn't. You spent that on humanoid. So to me, it's a waste of money. I'm going to say the same thing to any CEO that comes to me on that comment. So it's a waste of money for a pet project, a side project at best. Okay, so that's where I stand. It's a waste of time, guys. It's a waste of our time, waste of money to try and create a bot that looks human. Yeah. Again, in terms of the human form, I've talked about it a lot. Okay. Why? Like, what are we proving other than just, a fun or side project? A very, very expensive one. Okay. Because if you look at it, humans walk. Okay. Cars go faster. Why? Because they're flatbed. So the flatbed, from a human point of view, from a pure motions point of view, it's easier for it to go flat. For you to get a bot that goes flat than to have a bot that walks as a human. Or we're going to talk about lifting. Same thing. To lift, you better have a flatbed that goes up and down than to have a human that goes up and down with all the hinges. So you're creating something that has a form that is not beneficial or most utility or optimized for that. What else are we going to talk about? Cooking. There are already bots that do it. A lot of bots cook better than chefs. Because in the human form, you have to worry about the movie. Like if you watch it, you have to watch it, the way it goes, the way it cuts, which for us, the what you call synchronization between our brain and our hands, the motion, the dexterity has to be there. It's a pain to do it, okay? It took years evolution to get there. But we don't have to go through that evolution with bots because you can just have a hand that goes through a machine, and not even a hand, a spinner. A spinner, a fidget cutter, and that's you're done. You don't have to create something that looks human and goes forward. So it's just a waste of money. And then if you're lying to go through that, you're wasting your time by lying. You're more silly. You sound more silly. And the CEOs doing it, they're doing it for the money. But the journalists that are actually perpetuating this and talking about it as if it's real, are either gullible or silly or just downright corrupt. And that's all I can think about, because people saying, oh God, it's real because they open up the back and we saw a circuit. Like I could put a fake circuit here and you could peep through it and you see it. Are you going to say I'm a bot? Maybe they'll come to it and say it because I'm moving in a humanoid form. So waste of time, Let's talk again, same thing we talk about driving. I'm going to, Almost does this a lot as well. It's come up with a humanoid that's going to drive. Like, cars have been on auto drive or, cruise control for years. I was working. But what's the difference? Well, what's the difference? My Mercedes, right, which has been around for a week, is not a new one, guys. So I'm a startup. I'm trying to work for my customers here. So it's not even expensive. But here's the point. It's not expensive, but it can drive, it can do a cruise control, it can follow the car behind, the front and back, so that it's only a small leap to go from left to right. So that the automated drive that's costing billions can be done for a very short distance. And then get a train if you want to. That's more optimal. To my point, we're just wasting money for no reason. And I worked as a consultant, I worked with Sandvik. Sandvik are an automated, they have a lot of bots, okay? And these are people actually doing the work. without all the noise. So they have a lot of bots, which I found very fascinating, right? Is that if you go to South Africa, where there's a lot of these mines going on, so these are very dangerous for humans to go into because of the breath, right? So coal mines and things like that, people are still doing that, right? And there are bots that are trying to do that. So these idiots spending billions to hire a human to walk from A to B. You can help those and actually fund those programs where bots go down to the mines instead of humans, because those things collapse. But what I found was that there's a lot of humans that actually control a lot of bots that are just, boxes that are cars that can lift things, drop things, and dig through mines. A lot of mines in South Africa are now, really, really, really automated by bots. And these are not human bots that walked across for billions of dollars. These are like bots that cost, 100,000, 200,000. And then what they do is a human actually controls it from a crane. And then the crane then moves from A to B. That's AI in action. That's AI that controls, that you can control as a human. That's AI that actually helps humans, okay, instead of putting humans out of work. That's AI that actually then makes sure that death is reduced. Because if a mine collapses on a bot, you lose 100,000. But if a mine collapses on humans, firstly, the bot is already doing 10 to 20 humans to work there under the mines. So one, you save human lives, a lot more human lives, because the bot actually does the digging instead of humans. And if it collapses, you lose just financial money there, which again, you can get insurance on that. But human life goes, and that's a problem. Yeah, so I mean, I don't think I need to say these things, right? Especially when I've got finance and other things to worry about my customers. But it annoys when this comes up to my table, right? And when it comes up and I have to give a comment on it, so, and then I have to talk about it and talk to people around it. It's just annoying. It makes no sense. It's just a waste of your time and waste of everybody's time to come up and create a humanoid that goes from A to B, but that walks around and is realistic. Why is it realistic? I'm saying this again. There are a lot of pets these days that are realistic. Let's look at that. There's a lot of pets that have, if you look at it, just going online and just search realistic looking dogs or cats. Who's buying those things? Because it's realistic looking, but it's not real. So if you want a dog, you buy a dog. Even the pain associated with the dog, the poop, the everything, the barking, makes you want to love. It's inconvenient, but the human touch is there. And compare that to buying a bot who is a dog. It goes from A to B and hits his head or finds his way around, but it's not a dog. So most of those companies are bankrupt now. Now we're heading towards that direction with humanoids as well. We're trying to get humanoid bots and claiming that it's real. Okay, but it's not real. I mean, if you look at, there's a movie called Passenger. Check it out, Passenger Guide. Very lovely movie. I watched it. I think I've watched it about 5 times. Where these people were going across, centuries, and then they're supposed to go across galaxies. Sorry, and I think it's going to take 250 years. So they put them all to sleep, and then within that sleep, mistakenly one of the carriages woke up. So someone woke up, and if you wake up, you're going to die then, because you can't live for 250 years. So that person was going to die, but they had a bot, and the bot was there, but it wasn't the same. And I can tell this is a movie, but in reality, it's the same thing. If there's a bot sitting here, it doesn't mean I'll be talking to that bot. After a while, I'm going to realize I'm talking to myself. People that talk to AI, after a while, you realize you're talking to an AI. You realize at the end that it's not intelligent. If it's intelligent, it's because people trained it to be intelligent. It's still not human. You will have more fun talking to a child, right? You have more fun talking to a child because you train the child, but you can see the child put their own inputs. That's different from a bot that is it's purely logic driven. Yeah, we know that as well, but we carry on with this charade, and everyone's excited and happy over fast. So I'm going to stop there for now, just not to make the video too long. Simple. Right now, is that real or fake? Based on the evidence, it's fake. That's it. Based on the evidence. I'm not saying that the idea of a bot is not real. Okay, guys, let's not make that mistake. And I see a lot of people, I think on LinkedIn, see a lot of people posting a picture of a bot being real and moving. Yes, a bot moving, okay? And here's the point. A bot that moves this way, A to B, is the quickest way possible. And that's optimal. That's okay. A bot can move this way. Well, a human can't move this way because we have joints, because it's painful to do that. If you were moving like this, after 10, 15 minutes, you're going to be tired. But a bot's not tired, so a bot can do it. It's not bad to move like a bot if you're a bot. And maybe I'm going to tag this video that it's not bad to move like a bot if you're a bot. But it's bad to move like a bot if you're a human, because it's going to hurt you, it's going to pain you. But let's not try and force a bot to look like a human, because there is no need. I was watching another stupid ad the other day where they had a humanoid, and then it had a womb. And then they say this humanoid bot is going to give birth to a baby very soon. And a lot of journalists cover that crap. I was like, really, guys? There's what's called incubators now. Incubators are a box where you put the egg of the dad, the egg of the mom, and a baby is made in the incubator for months. Now we're going to carry the incubator and put that in a box, but still the incubator in there. It still has to have a machine. It has to have power. It has to have battery power. The battery power is sure the child is dead, right? But a human stays alive. So here's the point. You put a bot in there. You put the incubator in the tummy of the bot. And then you say, oh my God, AI is giving birth to a baby. Guys, like, we need to stop this. Yeah, I'm just going to stop there. We need to stop this, okay? Put comments in there. I'm ready to argue this if I have no time. If I'm free, okay. Other than that, I'm going to focus on my customers, focus on my rings. And guys, but please make sure you don't invest in crap like this as well. Make sure that you know where your money is going, and don't be excited about waste of time things. Okay, bots are coming, AI is coming, AI is going to help us. But anyone that tries to put AI over humans or try and make it look humanistic, just wasting their time. And that video is fake.